Good morning. We will start a new chapter, Reaching the Age of Adolescence, session 1. So in the previous session, in the previous lesson, what we studied was reproduction in animals. We understood how animals reproduce, different ways, that is sexual and asexual type of reproduction. So when we talk about sexual type of reproduction, we see that human beings or animals are able to reproduce to their young ones in their lifetimes once they attain a reproductive age or once they turn into a adulthood. So what is that particular age or what is that particular time when one is ready to reproduce their young ones, or what particular time is that? We will be discussing about that in this lesson. What is that particular time or a age when they reach into a adulthood? What is that called as? We will be discussing that. So the time period when the body undergoes a certain change. What type of a change? We can say that a body undergoes a change to reach the reproductive maturity. Now what is this reproductive maturity? That is when your body is ready to reproduce. There are some hormones in the body which will act accordingly at a particular time. So the time period when the body undergoes changes to reach the reproductive maturity is called as adolescence period. Now when we talk about what is adolescence, the word reproductive maturity is very important because it is a change in your body which will change to the reproductive maturity. The time period when the body undergoes changes is called adolescence? No. What changes your body will undergo? Your body will undergo the change, that is to reach the reproductive maturity is called as adolescence. And what is this adolescence period? So in boys and girls, when basically we talk about, so this adolescence starts, or you can say at the age of 11 to 16 years in boys and about say 10 to 15 years in girls. So it is not common for everybody. That whoever are there in and around you, for everybody it will not start at one particular time. There is a time gap which is given which may start, because we know that every individual is different from other, right? So it's your own body type, your environment, how you have been brought up, all these things will add up to that. So a time period what is we consider here is generally when we see, so it starts, reproductive maturity will start between the age of 11 to 16 in boys and 10 to 15. Now, when you see this age group where we enter into a 11, 12, 13, 14, TEEN, teen, right? What we end up there? So 13, 14, 15, 16, right? So that is why this adolescence period or that age is called as, we call them as a teenage period also, or teenagers. See, we sometimes tell it's your teenage group. So what is this teenage group? The period between 13, where TEN comes in English 13 letter, to 17, 18. That is why we call that as a teenage group. Now when does this adolescence, teenage end up, or that maturity period will end up is between 18 to 19 years. It is not that your reproductive maturity period will end. Your adolescence period will end at the age of 18 to 19 years. That means what all your bodily changes will happen. So that will stop at the age of 18 to 19 years. But you enter into the adolescence period into this particular time. The next one is puberty. The various changes that occur in the body during adolescence marks the onset of puberty. Onset of puberty is the start of puberty. As soon as you enter the adolescence, and that's what you reach the reproductive maturity, right? So that is known as an adolescence period. So there you attain a puberty, that is a start of puberty, what I can say. That is, there are so many changes which are happening in your body. What type of changes? We'll discuss that. Puberty ends when teenagers attain sexual maturity. That means now there are so many changes happening in your body, right? So do you think at a time, assume that you attained this at the age of 12 or 13 years. For example, you entered into a reproductive maturity state in the age of 13 years. You get along with so many changes in your body, onset of puberty. So once the changes starts in your body, the same changes will be there. Again, after a few years, different changes will not appear. So puberty ends when teenagers attain sexual maturity. Once they attain that maturity, your puberty will end. Those are the only changes what your body can have. Physical changes, only those physical changes at a particular period of time. Hormonal changes, behavioral changes, that will not continue. So suddenly every year you will not have new changes, right? So there it ends when the teenagers enter the sexual maturity. Now what are the different changes what you see in puberty? We see physical change, hormonal change. What are hormones? We'll again discuss that in this chapter later. Behavioral change. So there are so many changes happening. You might have asked, your parents keep telling that there are sudden changes in my daughter or in my son since they are into a teenage now. It's not that whatever is written in the book, those changes that you have to undergo. As I have told, every individual is different from others. So you might have some different set of changes. So these are some general changes written about the behavioral changes that one or the other might happen with you. So reading this, why I am not undergoing this change, you need not break your head because every individual is different. You have your own changes happening in your body. So now what are the physical changes when we talk about in male and female? So in male, facial hair develops, so mustache, beard, they start developing. Breaking of voice. Now breaking of voice, when I talk about, their voice becomes more and more hoarse and rough, what I can say, or deep I can say. Now basically, when you see not babies exactly, 5, 6, 7 years old child, a boy or a girl, when they speak, so you cannot recognize whether it is a boy or a girl speaking because the voice seems to be same, right? It has a same typical voice, but once you enter the stage, that is physical change when I talk about, the voice starts getting hoarsening and more deep. Pubic hair is a hair where in the genital area the hair starts growing. Genital growth, that is male reproductive organs starts growing, developing as well as growing. Acne, pimples. So basically you might have seen many ads on the TV. Use so and so face wash, cream to get removal of that, right? So muscular appearance. So muscular appearance is not suddenly you start getting biceps and you look muscular. It is that basically in boys or in male, what I can tell is their shoulder broadens. So that masculine, see in female we have all feminine, female characters. So in male we have all muscular characters. So muscular appearance in the manner their shoulder broadens. So they look tall, healthy, something like that. What I can say here. Female, when we talk about their breast growth, hip growth, so pubic hair again, acne again, menstrual cycle begins. Menstrual cycle we'll discuss in this chapter in the second half. Hormonal change. So when we talk about a hormonal change, there are hormones. Now in the chapter reproduction we studied about male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs, right? So they again release sperm, these will release ovum or egg. So in that process, so before that process what we have to know is, so these male will release some hormones. When these hormones are released, once the onset of puberty, body starts releasing some hormones. So these hormones are also called as sex hormones because in male it is testosterone, in female it is estrogen. These are also called as secondary sexual characters. Why they are called secondary sexual characters? Because these will differentiate a male from a female. We'll again be discussing this later in this chapter. Behavioral change. So what are the general behavioral change? What we see is conscious about appearance. You want to know how you look. You want to look beautiful or you want to look good always. You will be always wondering, what if others are watching me? I need to be always a good or something like that. need for acceptance, mood swings, physical attraction, stress. Yes, all are the different changes happening. Why are these changes happening in your body? Because in your body there are different hormones suddenly will start appearing, right? As I told, these are the hormones which will suddenly start producing by your body. So these hormones will lead to these many changes. These are temporary, children. This will not carry on for a long time. But initially, see, we need to always accept the change. When there is sudden change which is happening inside your body, it will take some time for you to adjust. But once you know this is the changes which are going to happen, your body or you start accepting it, right? Basically, apart from this, during this period, your brain has the maximum capacity of learning both bad things as well as good things. So during this period is a time where we understand what is good and what is bad. That is very, very important. So there, parents play a very important role in educating their child about, as well as school play a very important role in educating your child or your daughter or a son about what is good and what is bad. So these are few changes which are happening. There are few other changes also. We'll discuss that now. We'll see some more changes in puberty. Increase in height. So suddenly there is a growth spurt or increase in height spurt, what you can say. Now some of your classmates probably now during this lockdown, so after the lockdown when you get to meet your friends, you suddenly see that girl or that boy was so short in your previous class and suddenly they have spurt in their height, right? So there will be a sudden spurt in height. Increase in height. The long bones of the arms and legs elongate and make a person tall. So again, height is inherited from parents. So again, it need not be for everyone because height is an inherited trait. Trait is nothing but a characteristics. Inherited is what we get from our parents, right? So I had told as in the previous chapter a slight few things what we discussed, what all we can inherit from our parents: skin color, our hair color, height, color of all these things which are inherited from our parents. Increase in height. The next one is change in body shape. We have already discussed about this in the first part. Again, let's discuss. Change in body shape. Boys, shoulders become broader. We discussed that. Chest becomes wider. So they have the muscular characteristics or masculine thing what it comes. Masculine in the sense their chest and the shoulders they broaden. In girls, the region below the waist becomes wider. Hips broaden because there are a lot of fat deposits on them. Breasts develop and increase in size. Change in voice. This also we discussed. Boys develop a low pitch deep voice. If you remember in chapter sound, we discussed about low pitch sound, high pitch sound, a child has which sound, or a baby has a what type of a sound, an adult has a what type of a sound. We discussed in that, right? So boys develop low pitch deep voice. That's only because they're larger, they have a larger voice box than the girls, than the females. So larger voice box, that's because the larynx is nothing but the voice box. We discussed that in sound chapter. Larynx enlarges. Since the larynx enlarges, there is a protruding part in the neck portion and that protruding part is called as a Adam's apple. The picture is given in the book. See, there is one part. Now when you touch here, you don't feel there is any protruding part, right? But in the boys and males, when you see that, not for everybody. See, do they have a larger voice box or the larynx enlarges? That protruding part is not for everybody. For few of them it is protruding too much. Now why is that? Now as I have told, every individual is different, right? Some of them have that protruding growth part kind of a thing. So it's called as a protruding, which is actually producing outward. That is called as a Adam's apple. In girls, they develop high pitch voice, right? That's all what you have to know here. So basically, we will be able to differentiate between a male and a female voice here, right? So basically, during your younger age, even if a boy or a girl speaks, toddler, at 5, 6 or up to 10 years age, when they speak, their voice seems to be very similar, whether it's a girl or a boy, not able to differentiate in the voice. So here we can differentiate it clearly. Few more changes. Increased activity of sweat glands and sebaceous glands. What are glands? I'll discuss that. So, due to the increased activity, or we can say due to the increase in secretion of these glands, so these glands causes pimples and acne. Now, it is not that throughout the year or throughout you will have those pimples and acne. That's only because these changes happen suddenly in your body. Your body cannot, see, you go to a new place and everything is new to you. So you take some time to adjust, right? Now suddenly in your body at one fine day, these glands are secreting in large in number. So your body doesn't understand what it has to do. It has to get adjusted. So increase in this secretion from these glands causes pimples and acne. So you might have seen initial stages you will have, then later on that's completely like gone, right? That's only because now your body has adjusted to these what are being secreted by your body, that is by the glands. Development of sex organs. The sex organs are also called as gonads. You will be having a detailed study about the gonads in your 10th standard. So now what are the sex organs? Testes in male and ovaries in female. We have discussed about this male and female reproductive organs in reproduction chapter, right? So these are sex organs called as gonads. Testes in male and ovaries in female, they mature and start producing gametes. So it is a time when they start producing. Now there we have understood every month and egg is from the ovaries, they produce egg. So every month an egg is released to the fallopian tube. So at what point of time? At this point of time. So they become mature, producing gametes and sex hormones. Now sex hormones, that is testosterone in male and estrogen in female, right? These are secondary sexual characteristics which differ them from a male and female. Reaching mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. So already I have discussed this point. So along with this, you attain the intellectual maturity which is accompanied by lot of behavioral changes. So what, as I have told you, your brain becomes so strong and it becomes so susceptible to accept all new things. It becomes a larger space to take all new things, understand all new things also, right? That is why intellectual maturity. You know what is good, what is bad. Along with that, behavioral changes also takes place. Lots of behavioral changes. That's only because your body is secreting some hormones. Like what are hormones? That's the next topic what we are discussing. So these are some changes in the puberty what we see. Now the next part, very important, where we see what are hormones. We'll understand about glands now. A gland is a group of cells in an animal body that synthesizes substances, which is nothing but hormones, for the release into the bloodstream. So whatever gland will secrete these hormones, or whatever not secrete, they release these hormones directly into the bloodstream. So basically we have two types of glands in our body, endocrine gland and exocrine gland. So endocrine gland, when we talk about, these are ductless glands. And exocrine glands are the duct glands. Simple. Now ductless gland, when I talk about, in other words if I have to say, we have a Wi-Fi connection at home, right? So that is wireless connection, right? Or if you have a BSNL internet, so it is a wired connection. Simple. Don't write here wireless and it is wired. So to tell you about ductless and a duct gland. So ductless, when we talk about, there is no duct for the flowing of a particular hormones into our body, right? Wherein here it flows through some duct. Endocrine gland, a ductless gland, exocrine gland, duct gland. So endocrine gland release hormones directly into the blood and reach the body part called target site. That means what hormones it has released, it will reach the body part. Which body part? Which is a target site. For example, a particular hormone which is released by a particular target site only it requires, not for by other. About that you will study what are the different hormones and which what do they secrete, which are the different endocrine glands present in our body and which hormone do they secrete. You will study that. Exocrine gland release their secretion through ducts. Example, sweat glands, sebaceous glands. Now, sweat glands we already understood there. Sebaceous glands are nothing but oil glands, right? Now, what are hormones? Hormones are the chemical messengers of the body which are secreted by endocrine glands. Which are these endocrine glands? We'll study that. Hormones act on the target organs or the cell or particular target organ to which it has to act upon. They travel in bloodstream, directly in the bloodstream. So any disorder in the hormones we actually get it rectified, checked by blood test only. So now let's understand what are the different hormones present or it is released by which endocrine gland. We'll study that in our next part. So, the major endocrine glands in humans are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal gland and gonads. We are going to study about only these major glands. So, let's go a bit in detail here. Pituitary gland is known as a master gland. Why it is called as a master gland? See, it is a very small, it is almost a pea-shaped, right? But still it is a master gland because it acts as a messenger, or you can say it releases some other hormones also for other glands to process well. If thyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal and gonad has to function well, that is, these glands should release the proper amount of hormones which are required by our body. That means pituitary gland will actually master them, right? That means it regulates. Pituitary gland, that is why called as a master gland, who will regulate all the other glands which releases the hormones, right? So, where it is located? It is located in the brain, hypothalamus part in the brain. So, nothing much detail, let's not go into it. You again study children this in control and coordination chapter in standard 10 where you have a detailed study about these glands again. What happens? This pituitary gland secretes, or you can say growth hormone, right? So what happens that if it under secretes the growth hormone or over secretes the growth hormone, our body requires a particular amount of hormone to synthesize, to develop or anything. But if these hormones are over and under secreted, there are some disorders. For example, if pituitary gland which secretes growth hormone, if it is over secreted by our body, then it causes gigantism. If it is under secreted by our body, then it causes dwarfism. Now, example for dwarfism is not the one of the tallest person in your class, no, nor one of the shortest person in our class. We do not call them as a dwarfism. Now, dwarfism, when I talk about very short, I can say buffoons, right? They are like almost still. Appearance wise they look adults, but they are very short because of under secretion of these growth hormones. Over secretion of growth hormones, anybody beyond 6.5 or 7 feet tall, quite impossible, right? But still we get to see them in the Guinness World Record. A man who is so tall, like everybody clicks photographs with him. He's not even able to sit in a car, right? So many things. But that is gigantism. Along with that also, their body proportion also will not be in the correct format. Now just for an example, if I have to give you, our jawline, nose, cheeks, chin, all are properly located. What if your jawline is protruding? Now what is protruding? Something which is almost producing or coming out kind of a thing, right? What if your jawline is protruding as if it's going to fall out now, right? So that is something over secretion of the growth hormone. And usually when we talk about our hands hand length, that is arm length to our legs, when you see, that will not cross our knee, right? So this can also happen that your arm length is very short, it is almost up to your hip, or it is very long, it is almost crossing your knee. These are all abnormalities what you actually find. We actually cannot define here what could be the exactly for this and that, but basically there are so many abnormalities which are happening in the growth hormone. Now see, our hands, legs, our head size, our body size are all proportionate, right? That means our hormones are properly secreted. Growth hormones are properly secreted by our body. How do you know that our body has to secrete this much hormone only? That is something called as a feedback mechanism. Now feedback mechanism is a part which is played by our body, or which tells our body that our body requires only this much of hormone, or at this particular time hormones are need to be released, and our body does that. That is something called as feedback mechanism. There is a definition also for that. I'll discuss with that. Next, thyroid gland located in the neck. It secretes the hormone thyroxine. Now, what does this do? This regulates the body metabolism. Under secretion or over secretion of thyroid, that is thyroxine hormone, it gives rise to hyper or hypothyroidism, right? So, iodine deficiency. Now, sometimes we also have iodine deficiency. Now, that's why nowadays you don't get that advertisement, but otherwise have consume iodized salt, right? That's because now what happens is this will release thyroxine hormone in our body. Our body releases some amount of thyroxine hormone, right? So if it is iodine deficiency is caused if thyroxine hormone is released less by our body. So how does it release thyroxine hormone? Because iodine is sufficiently what you can say absorbed by our body, which releases thyroxine hormone, I can tell in that manner, right? But if our body is releasing very less thyroxine hormone, deficiency of this thyroxine hormone or iodine deficiency causes a disease called goiter. Goiter is something you might have learned in your lower classes. There's a lump or a bump near your neck, right? So that again regulates, that will not, your body metabolism will not happen correctly in that point of time. So that's what. How does your body knows now how much of thyroxine it has to secrete, children? Feedback mechanism. Next is pancreas. It is located in the stomach region. It secretes two hormones, insulin and glucagon. So what does insulin do basically? It maintains blood sugar level in our body. This basically everybody knows this, right? Deficiency of insulin in our body causes diabetes. Now that's again a much detailed advanced things to know, but let's only stick to this part what we wanted here. Adrenal gland located at the upper part of each kidney. So on the kidney there are two cap-like structures. Those are adrenal gland. Adrenal gland secretes the hormone adrenaline. So these hormones are also called as stress hormones. Stress hormones means the hormones which gives us stress? No. They are called stress hormones because these hormones releases, or these glands release a type of a hormone during stress. Now for example, it's also called as fight, flight and freeze hormone. Why? Because now you imagine that you're going on a road, right? Suddenly you see that a dog is rushing towards you. So a ferocious dog is just barking and running towards you. So at a moment, what do? First thing is your heartbeat increase, right? That's a natural thing to increase. Why does your heartbeat increase? Because at that point of time, your body suddenly releases adrenaline hormone here. Your heartbeat increase. Then after that, what do you think? You either fight with the dog, or you just freeze there, or you just run away from there. So this hormone is also called as fight, flight or freeze hormone. But after some time your body again comes to the normal path, right? feedback mechanism. Your body knows when to get into this and how much you require and how much it requires to maintain. So disorder in this hormone causes salt imbalance in our body. It's not only because of this, but that is one of the main reasons. The last hormone, gonads. We know that gonads are nothing but in male it is testes and female it is ovaries. These releases the hormone. So male it is testosterone, female it is estrogen as well as progesterone. So deficiency of these hormones together can cause infertility. Infertility is something not capable of reproducing. Absence of these hormones or deficiency of these hormones, also you can see that there will be an absence of secondary sexual characters. Now what are these secondary sexual characters? We already studied, right? So which makes a male and a female different. These are secondary sexual characters. So absence of these or deficiency of these causes absence of secondary sexual characters. So this here we complete the first part of this chapter about adolescence and about about adolescence, then about hormones, which are the main important glands which release these hormones, we understood. The second part of the lesson is about the reproductive phase in the human life, which we will be doing it in the next session.